Coach Cali, and I came to remind you, your mind matters, your peace is power, and your story still being written.
Okay. Yeah, so the 2 year hiatus I went on of no sex, no alcohol. Oh, and then I did fasting as well. So me and my best friend had decided to we did dry fasting, nothing to eat, nothing to drink from 6 to 6. To 6 p.m. From what I did from the time I went to sleep to 6 p.m. The next day. And that started shaking up a lot. It had got to the point to where every time we was fasting, something popped up. Like something happened. Like some type of test came on fast day. But we did that for a whole entire year. And then I'm one of those people that like to challenge myself. So I started getting to the point to where I want to go longer fasted, do a couple of days at a time. Because I was having intestinal issues, I started doing I did plant-based for a long time. I did fruit fast for like 30 days. You get what I'm saying? Like just challenging myself to flush my system and I feel like in that a lot started changing mentally with that as well. Cause it's like when you're saying no to the daily temptation of what I've been so used to eating and so used to drinking on a daily basis, it's like you don't have any choice but to shift everything else. And I remember when I first started back dating, it was like, nope. It's like the discernment.
Yeah, it was there.
The discernment was like there. Could see bull so fast. Oh no, I've already dealt with it. I'm not going in that same cycle anymore. And it's kind of hard for people to tell people, you're some nice looking. Most toxic men are nice looking. But it's some nice looking people out here. And you can like feel like you have a chemistry with a person that's a familiar spirit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, no, that just doesn't work for me. You may be a great person for somebody else, but it just doesn't work for me. And I had gained the confidence to actually say that and mean it, and not circle back and not entertain the conversations. I almost did though. I almost did. The one test came pretty hard and I was just like, no. And when I tell you God revealed later, exactly what I had perceived. So yeah, that 2 year reset was, I want to say it was a 1 year reset. Going into the second year is when I started to be like, okay, I'm gonna start dating. And I met my boyfriend when I didn't care if I had a boyfriend anymore. I didn't care. It started being less about, oh, I want to be married and have a husband. It was like, I gotta do what I gotta do. This is what I want. I knew I wanted my dream house. I knew what I wanted for Ella. As far as, seeing her healthy, happy, and growing. I knew I wanted to spend time with family. You know what I'm saying? Like it became less about a man. It just, I didn't care anymore when I met him. And I was like, oh, okay. He actually checks almost all the boxes. Like when before I even started dating him, you get what I'm saying? Like before I even got to know him for real, it was like, okay, he has his own, he's disciplined. He's more disciplined than me. Somebody I can learn from, even though he's younger than me, somebody I can learn from. And I remember being like, at first I said no, because it was a hookup. It was like one of the girls told me about him. I was like, no. I just instantly said no. I didn't know him. I hadn't met him. It was just like, he doesn't look like the typical dude I would date. I typically date dark skinned men. And he's super light, So it was just like, And when I met him in person, we both instantly, it was something. It was like, I was like, okay, you can give him my number. Yeah. But I'm still at the point, like I tell people even now, like, I feel like you should do, I want what God, I stopped praying what I wanted. I started praying God's will within the last 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't do no Sierra prayer. I stopped having a laundry list. I felt like, and still feel like, what I wanted for myself haven't worked all this time. So obviously, I need not to pray for what I think I want.
Yeah.
I need to pray for what God's will is. And that's what I started praying. And stuff started shifting. Oh, and it got uncomfortable, girl, this house buy.
Yeah.
It let me see, yeah, you can make money, but you are horrible with money, child.
Yeah.
You good with making it. You can attract it to yourself. But yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm still like in that space of, okay, you got to change this.
Yeah.
This is one of the biggest things you did not like about your parents. This is one of the biggest things that you wanted to break for Ella. You got to sit with this, and you got to not go here. You got to not do this. I just canceled a Cabo trip because it was not financially responsible decision to do when I'm about to close on a house in December.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's big girl decisions now. Like house, Cabo, like dream life, Cabo, like, because some decisions are really that, like some decisions that you make can really ruin months worth of work.
Yeah. It can delay what you could have gotten sooner and got both. I realized with
Yeah.
me, some things I wanted the now, when if I would have done God's will first, I could have got that
Mhm.
later too.
Mhm.
So
And I
it,
feel the same with the house.
yeah.
Mhm. Mhm. My aunt tried to get me to sell my house years ago. Kanisha, you like new stuff. That house was built in 1965. I think you should. I think you should buy something new. No, but I want to fix up this one. Those numbers would have hit higher, probably higher than the house I'm buying now. You
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
but the stubbornness
Yeah. Yeah.
that comes to the hyper independence that comes to some of the gifts we have is like double sided, double
Ooh,
sworded.
yes. Yes. I have really walked in my vulnerability this year. I was just telling the lady at the breast cancer sister networks the other day, and she was saying, I really love it. I was like, yeah, I really refuse to not let people know I'm not okay. I felt like I owe that to myself. So this year, when people ask, I don't give a, I'm fine. I'm like, okay, I'm struggling today. I'm struggling, and I'm not struggling with,
I
you know,
see your post. I was proud because you've
hey,
always been that
and it's
hard
funny, I
shield.
never even thought I was. I just always felt like go.
Always. Everybody was scared of you, girl.
I
Especially
know, and I tell
when I
people all the
came.
time, like, oh my God. And I'm like, I'm just me, and then I think with my husband, yeah, my husband is a very quiet, reserved kind of person. I have to work twice as hard, right, to understand him, which made me understand me better. So it's very interesting that despise how life turned out, I always give him them flowers of that he quieted me and my kids. The whole house went under
But
reservation
I
of
remember, like, you as a kid, you were spicy as a kid, but you were more like feisty, spicy. You didn't look mean.
Mhm.
When I came into the unit, the first time I seen you at the unit, I was like, that is not the same Calissa from childhood. Like, you was like serious tunnel vision.
Yeah.
Like, if it's not
Yeah, and it's funny.
what
Yeah.
I have to do in front of me, don't talk to me about no BS. Like, it was like no bull, straightforward,
Yeah.
which I feel like is the reason why you have accomplished what you have come. I feel like some seasons in our lives, the way we are is the reason why we got the places that we have
Yeah.
gotten to. But yeah, you hardcore.
And it's
I
funny,
feel
people
like you could
are
have been
like,
a drill
you
sergeant.
are just, I told them, it's funny, I got a group chat with my cousins and stuff, and everybody got their own name. I said, I'm the drill sergeant. That's what I told them. I am the
You
drill
are.
sergeant.
You are.
And it's funny
I
though.
was nervous
Yeah.
when we decided counseling for Ella because I was like, is she gonna be Ella kind of tender? Is she
Yeah.
gonna be able to?
Yeah. But
But
that's
I was like, oh,
different.
she got it.
That's different. The
Mhm.
purpose and alignment, right?
Mhm.
That is my biggest thing when people, how did you know? And I was like, yeah, when I really started releasing that guard that protected me, that guard kept people away from me. That guard kept people from talking to me, and I felt secured in it. I was very secured in it. And I would be in the hallways and I wouldn't even talk to my peers, but my patients, oh, we could talk all day, And my friend used to be like,
Mhm.
it's different. She said, you're very unique. Like you don't deal with people, but then you deal with people. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not sure how God's going to use this. Right.
And for me, I think with me already knowing you and knowing some of your story from the outside, it was like it didn't bother me.
Hmm.
It threw me off when I first seen you, but it didn't bother me because I knew some of the story
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I understood. It's like I just understood. And like, I mean, military, you kind of put that, it's kind of more of a toughness anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, there, but yeah, it was.
It definitely was a
I remember. I still remember when I walked into that unit and I seen you, and I was like, "Calissa, that is not." I came home and told Mama, I was like, "That is not the same Calissa that you was about to give a whooping at that."
Oh, I tell people all the time when they come in there, I have some 14-year-olds, they come in and they mom be like, oh my gosh, they're so sassy. La, la, la. I said, honey, please don't call my mama. Do not call my mom because I would not be this doctor in front of you. I'm telling you, like, and it's funny because now when I think, I'm like, God, you are hilarious. Because when I'm looking at this teenager in front of me with this attitude, I said, I don't think you could have more attitude than me. I just don't. Right. And they're looking at me. I said, you can have the attitude all you
And
want, but
anybody that was around you when you was a teenager would be like, "You trying to get an attitude with her?"
like, don't,
Like,
I
not
know
her.
it's my husband, he didn't go to school here. So I was like, I literally did not have to physically fight anyone. People, I don't know what happened, how it happened, but it was like, don't mess with her. And I said, and I just took it. Like I never even tried to fight it. It was just like, even when I met my best friend Krisha, her cousin was like, do not be around her. I'm like, I've never met a cousin in her life. I had no idea.
But I remember even then, you were still fun. Like when you would come around, you was still fun. It was just you was
Oh yeah. I told them, I was like, it was almost one of
that
those
mouth was
things.
treacherous.
Oh, God bless me, because none of my kids. Now my little one, God,
Mama
I
still
mean,
call you crazy girl.
crazy girl. I said I was like a split second. My sister, I was like, I promise you, if you go, I was the one. What card? If you take it, I'm taking it to hell. Like at that point, you have given me
All
permission.
the way.
Yeah. Oh. At that point, I literally thought I had the right. Yeah, the right to legally take it there because you came and bothered me. Yeah.
Yep.
And which is funny because now
Yeah.
all those stages, right? All the stages from my attitude at 15, from my discipline at 20, for birthing, and like every stage, I meet a version of me. And I'm like, God,
Mhm.
you are really funny. Like you are so
Yep. And the
funny. So now
collective
I'm
is
like,
what makes. Yep. And the collective is what makes the gift come into full fruition.
yeah.
And it's amazing. I said that the other day. I was like, God, it's hilarious. Like when I be seeing how he lines stuff up now, I got to tell you something off camera. A discussion I had, but I'm like, you are
Yeah.
hilarious. Like
Yeah. Especially
it's
like even
I
when I got a
understand why he
friend,
doesn't want us to.
right? Like why we don't know, because we would mess it up. I
Mhm.
literally got a friend who's
Yep.
almost what people thought I was, right? She was the one that was she I mean she was the one who she actually had to fight. And I would tell her I was so mean, I didn't fight. Like I was just so mean that people thought I would fight, and they never, I didn't have to. And she was the one that people would trust. And when we'd be out, and I was telling her about some friends, it was some people I knew from high school, right? And she was like, "Well, this is this." I was like, I don't deal with them." She's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "No, you don't understand. Like when I tell you I was mean, I was mean." Like, and she was literally not understanding what I was saying. And I was like, "No, I know them." And I said, "Half the time we go out, I know them, but I just did not speak to them." And she said, "Why?" I felt so bad.
And here go me. Nobody. I didn't have to worry about it because, well, I did fight when I was in elementary and middle. In high school, nobody bothered me because I had a really bad fight in the 8th grade. And everybody was scared of me after that because I blacked out. But with me, they said my face looked mean.
Oh, yeah,
Even though if you would talk to me, I would talk to you. But most people said I looked like I was intimidating, so they just didn't
I think my face
bother
is
me.
really mean. Like she is mean as hell. Your face is like, don't bother me. It's not a mean face, like mean. It almost look like I don't want to be bothered. Like I don't know which one's better, but it's funny because
Well,
someone,
probably don't.
yeah. Oh, and it was funny though because high school it was when I got into the medical field, and I'm like, oh, I'm giving this energy. Like people,
And see, with
I didn't
me,
say anything. Like I haven't said anything.
for the longest time, I didn't realize how, like, leave me alone I was looking.
Yeah.
When I started working with somebody, I actually got him the job at the movie theater when I was in high school. And he was like, Kanisha, you know what? A lot of people wanted to talk to you, but they just felt like you were so intimidating. So they just left it alone.
That's
He
alone.
was like, you really cool.
I would say that I wish mine was better, but even at where I'm at in the office,
Mm-hmm.
it's just that's me in my zone. But even when
Mm-hmm.
I was just at UCPI, my students was like, uh, nobody's answering because we're afraid to. I was just like, are you serious? And like it's funny because I still play with them all the time. And they're like, you just seem like you do. I said, I just want y'all to learn. And they got it, but it's still even in the hallway, I'm so in my thoughts. It's really why I work on being present now. Like whatever I'm doing, like in this
Mm-hmm.
moment, I got a lot of stuff to do. I'm pretty sure you do. I'm actually saying if I'm not
Mm-hmm.
present,
And I think that's what the
I
face
miss the
is. I'm
opportunity.
so in my own
Yep.
mind. The outside is not even
Yeah. It's
reflecting
not reflecting.
anything
Yeah. So
because my brain is going 1,000.
I had to stop multitasking and say, okay, Cali, you're just walking into here. Be present.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that really helped me these last 2 years.
Yeah, multitasking is something that I kind of then tried to put down as
Yeah.
well. Like I put so much pressure on myself this year. I finished real estate school. I haven't took the finished my bachelor's and buying a house, building a house at the same time.
Yeah.
And when the mental, you start getting forgetful, you start I ain't even gonna say being ditzy. Like I had got to the point to where I don't know if I'm going left or right.
Yeah.
And I was like, mine said, why did you do that to yourself?
And I think
Like,
that's
but when
funny.
I got to the end, I'm like, I gotta see it through.
And
Got
that's the
to see
thing.
it through.
That right there is a true thing. I told somebody the other day, I don't start and then I don't finish. Like, and I said it so adamant as if I had some super power, as if God didn't do it. You know what I mean? And I had to
Mhm.
really sit in that to like, oh my God, that's a lot of pressure
Like,
to and I
and I
think
think
because
it's almost like a form of self-sabotage sometimes.
yeah. Because we're so and now I realize that I said in there the other day I wasn't doing anything. I did 2 events yesterday, right? And when I got
Mhm.
home at 6, I'm like, okay, should I be doing something else? I had to really check like, no, not at all. You know,
Now, my friend now is the one that be like, Kanisha, you just need to rest. And they're like, what? I don't even feel right if I'm not
yeah. Which is
doing a
funny
million
now. I'm out here
things.
promoting mental health to
That's
everybody.
sad.
Everybody take a break. Everybody relax. And they like,
Like today, I did church, the event from 2 to 6, rush back here to get on this interview. Still gotta, school tomorrow
Yeah.
for Ella. My aunt gonna still want to talk
Yeah.
to catch up on the weekend events. Like
Yep.
my boyfriend gonna be calling before he go to work at
I will
11.
say though,
Like it's just
this
like
work, I will say this work, no, the 2 events from that day and this work, it's all giving, right? It's me actually in the gift. Like I'm saying, hey, I'm in mental health.
Mhm.
I want to help. So it's a little different, but that now I realize even with that gift, that calling, you have to know how to take breaks. When you're in that giving call, like I said, I need to make sure I'm overflowing because
Yeah.
eventually that call will become more of a
But the devil try to distract you by a lot of times people think, oh, I'm booked and busy. That's not always a good thing. That's not always
no,
of
no.
God
We have to restore.
because, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I
My
feel like
pastor preached on that, and I was like, what?
are you talking
I
about?
never, I never thought that was an issue, but yeah,
So
it
thank you.
is because you're drained. You don't have enough. How you gonna pray somebody through if
Yeah,
you are running off of fumes?
yeah. I definitely. So Sundays I try not to do as much. I thought this was good, which is not much. Honestly, this is not much. But I think about my
Mhm.
patients on Monday. I look at the schedule. I'm like, okay, God, you know who it is. And I've been doing it since I've been a nurse. Before I get in this building, you know who's in that building. You know what they need. I'm just
Mhm.
here.
And
And
see,
I feel
tomorrow
like
I actually made a nail appointment. I'm proud of myself. I have 2 clients, but I actually made an appointment for myself tomorrow.
let's do it. Yeah.
But yeah, I
Well,
feel like the more I be like, I don't want to do nothing. Don't ask me to do nothing until after close. I got 2 big events that's happening before I close, and I'm just like, one of them is actually on my closing date, and I'm just like,
and to me,
okay.
that's the Kanisha I know.
I really don't like people. I
Yeah,
tell people all the time. I
that does
really don't
that don't
like.
even seem like out of the norm. I know it. I'm now on the other end. I'm like, absolutely not. And the other side, like, yeah, she would do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, because it's just like a part of life is being able to celebrate with friends, and that was one of the things I had kind of got sidetracked on too.
yeah,
When you chasing success, sometimes you can lose your relationships with the people you love because you're always, well, I got this,
yeah,
and
yeah,
this. So I'm trying to learn now how to, well, I'm not trying, I'm learning how to balance, um, you know, being there for others as well.
yeah.
Because
And
in
that's and I
the
really
end,
that's
you
how
want them to
yeah,
be there for you.
yeah. That's why I said now when I sign up, I'm showing up. I'm not just when I say I'm gonna do, I'm do.
Mhm.
Because that's very important.
Mhm.
I realize that's to give back, and I wouldn't. It's I have to.
And my pastor talked about covenants we make with our tongue. That's
Yeah,
why the tongue is so powerful,
not about
and
tongue.
how it has spiritual ramifications when you make a covenant, when you tell somebody you're going to show up, when you tell somebody you're going to be there and you don't do it.
So
It's
yeah,
actually spiritual ramifications behind it. So yeah, I that's why saying no is sometimes the most important thing to do if you
yeah.
know
And
you're
one thing
not
I like from my pastor, he always
capable.
say, he says, "Let me think about it." He never would give me an answer, and I used to like I didn't understand it. Then I started admiring it. Then I understood. And my husband is really good at that. And I always felt like that was a hesitation. You just don't want to answer. But I had to learn the power in giving myself time.
Because I have to think through it, I might tell you yes,
Yeah.
and I have not looked at my schedule,
Yes.
and it's a
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if
Absolutely.
Ellen has something, it's a no. It might be a doctor's appointment I can't miss. It's
Yeah.
gonna take me 3 months to get
Yeah.
another one. It's
Yeah.
gonna have to be a no.
It has to be.
Yeah,
Well, I
yeah.
really do appreciate your time. I know you're as busy as a woman could be on this earth. And doing this round is heavy and answer the call. And I'm thank you for sharing it. I am going to probably do part two when you move, see what that transition looks
Okay, that'll
and
be
see.
exciting.
Yeah, that'll be really good to see that transition because I really want to
Look,
show
look.
our youth, right? Show our youth. Like
Mhm,
we didn't have the
mhm.
transparency. Like we observed our parents, we watched it, but we didn't have someone really guiding us through it. And I feel like seeing you before the move and letting us be, but also one seeing you on the other side and continuing to answer that call would be a great opportunity. And even
Mhm.
all the great things you're going to do when you go down there. So I'm excited to do more.
Yeah, I'm super excited. He sent me a picture today talking about you have side. They had the side lined up in front of the house. I'm like, okay, we almost there.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah. But thank you for having me.
I am Coach Cali, and I came to remind you, your mind matters, your peace is power, and your story still being written.